Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Now folks, if you've been paying close attention to the NFL offseason, you already know that the landscape is shifting faster than ever. And one of the biggest stories that's been brewing under the radar involves the Buffalo Bills and their star running back, James Cook. This isn't just a minor contract dispute. No, it's something that could have ripple effects across the league. And yes, that includes the Washington Commanders, who are always looking for opportunities to strengthen their squad and make that final leap into Super Bowl contention. So, what exactly is going on with James Cook? Well, after a stellar rookie season, Cook has been eager to secure a new deal, to lock in his future and perhaps a bigger payday. But the Bills, led by GM Brandon Beane, aren't exactly rushing to close that deal. Despite expressing confidence that Cook won't sit out or hold out, the reality is that the situation remains tense. Cook hasn't committed to a holdout yet, but that's a card he could play if negotiations drag on or if he feels undervalued. And let's be honest, the NFL is a business, and players are increasingly willing to take strong stances to get what they deserve. The Bills, on the other hand, need Cook badly. He's become a vital cog in their offensive machine. His ability to run between the tackles, catch passes out of the backfield, and create explosive plays makes him one of the more versatile backs in the league. Buffalo's offense, led by quarterback Josh Allen, relies heavily on dynamic playmakers, and Cook has proven that he can be a difference maker when it counts. But if the situation doesn't get resolved soon, the Bills might face a tough decision: whether to keep Cook on their roster at a price they're not willing to pay or to consider trading him to avoid losing him for nothing. Here's where things get really interesting. If Cook pushes the Bills to the brink, say, a holdout or a refusal to sign the franchise tag, Buffalo could decide to trade him. And folks, that's exactly what some NFL insiders are speculating about. The latest whispers suggest that Washington could be a prime landing spot for Cook. Yes, the Commanders, who have been quietly building a solid roster, might just jump into the mix if the price is right. Imagine a scenario where the Commanders, eager to capitalize on Jayden Daniels' rookie contract, add a high-caliber running back like Cook. With him, alongside their already talented receiving core featuring Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel, and a strong offensive line, Washington's offense could become a real juggernaut. Cook's ability to run, catch, and create mismatches would make him an instant upgrade over their current backfield options. Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler are good players, no doubt, but neither of them has the explosive playmaking ability that Cook consistently brings to the table. And let's not forget, Washington's front office has shown a willingness to go all in for 2025, especially with the way they've been maneuvering in free agency and trades. They've already made significant moves, trading for Laramie Tunsil from Houston and acquiring Deebo Samuel from San Francisco. These moves show they're serious about contending and shaping a roster that can compete with the best. Adding Cook would be a clear statement. They're not just building for the future, they're building for right now. Now, if the Bills do decide to trade Cook, it's likely they'd want something in return. The rumor mill suggests that the Commanders could offer a package involving multiple draft picks, probably a combination of a first-rounder and some later picks, maybe even a player or two to balance the deal. For Washington, acquiring Cook would be a game-changer. Not only would it give them a true three-down back, but it would also help take the pressure off Jayden Daniels to carry the entire offense. Having a back like Cook to complement their existing weapons would open up so many possibilities. And of course, this isn't just about adding another player. It's about upgrading a position that's become more vital than ever in today's NFL. Running backs are no longer just the guys who carry the ball. They're also key in the passing game, in protection, and in scheme versatility. Cook's skill set checks all those boxes. His ability to be a dual threat out of the backfield would make the Commanders' offense even more unpredictable. From Buffalo's perspective, if they do trade Cook, they'd be looking to fill that void with other options, possibly re-signing Brian Robinson, who's proven to be a tough, reliable runner, or maybe developing Austin Eckler further, or even drafting someone in the upcoming draft. The Bills will need to be strategic. They might also look to bring in a veteran or a different type of back to complement whoever they keep or acquire. It's a balancing act, and it's clear that Cook's situation has put a spotlight on their entire backfield strategy for the upcoming season. But let's talk about the bigger picture here. This potential trade isn't just about one player moving from Buffalo to Washington. It's about what it signifies for the NFC East and the overall balance of power in the league. The Commanders have been quietly rising, and if they pull off such a move, it could send shockwaves through the division. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants are all shaping their rosters, but Washington's aggressive approach to acquiring talent suggests they're not satisfied with just being a playoff team. They want to be a Super Bowl contender. The NFC East has historically been one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL, with fierce rivalries, high-stakes games, and a lot of pride at stake. The addition of a player like James Cook could elevate Washington's offense to a whole new level, giving them a consistent, explosive running game that complements their passing attack. And with Jaden Daniels developing, having a reliable back like Cook would help ease pressure on him, giving the offense more balance and flexibility. Now, let's also consider the implications for the Bills. If they do decide to trade Cook, it's a signal that they're willing to shake things up, maybe even rebuild a bit if they feel their current roster isn't enough to contend for a Super Bowl. They might be looking at the long-term picture, especially with Josh Allen's contract coming up and the team needing to make strategic moves to stay competitive. Trading Cook could also open up cap space and draft capital, giving Buffalo more flexibility in free agency and the draft. I have to mention, though, that this entire scenario is still hypothetical. Nothing is set in stone, and there's a lot of moving parts. The Bills could decide to keep Cook and work out a new deal, especially if they see him as a crucial part of their plans. But if the negotiations continue to stall and Cook feels undervalued, the possibility of a trade becomes more realistic. For Washington, seizing that opportunity could be a smart move, especially if they believe Cook can be their missing piece. And for the fans of Washington, it's exciting to think about the potential that this team has. They've made some smart moves lately, and with a little luck and the right additions, they could be on the brink of something special. The NFC East is always unpredictable, with surprises and dramatic turnarounds happening every season. Adding a player of Cook's caliber would definitely turn heads and make Washington a team to watch moving forward. So, as we keep an eye on the latest developments, one thing is clear: the NFL offseason is full of surprises, and the story of James Cook and the potential trade to Washington is just one example of how dynamic and unpredictable this league really is. It's a constant chess game, with teams making strategic moves to outsmart their rivals and position themselves for that ultimate goal, bringing home the Lombardi Trophy. And for us fans, these stories make the league even more thrilling to follow. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the next few weeks will be crucial. Negotiations could heat up, and we might see some surprises in the form of trades or contract extensions. The Commanders are clearly positioning themselves to make a real push in the upcoming season, and acquiring a player like James Cook could be the piece that puts them over the top. Imagine a backfield with Robinson, Eckler, and Cook. How do defenses stop that? It's a nightmare matchup, especially if Daniels continues to develop as a top-tier quarterback. This potential move also speaks to the broader trend in the NFL. Teams are valuing multidimensional backs more than ever. Running backs who can catch passes, block, and run with power or speed are in high demand. Cook fits that mold perfectly, and the fact that Washington has a young, talented quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who's just starting to find his rhythm, makes this even more appealing. They're building a team that can compete now and in the future, and adding a proven playmaker like Cook would underline that commitment. Of course, there's always skepticism. Some fans might worry about the cost, the chemistry, or whether Cook would truly fit into Washington's offensive scheme. but I think the upside outweighs the risks here. The NFC East is wide open, and the Commanders have the draft capital and cap space to make bold moves. If they pull this off, it could be a game changer not just for their offense but for the entire division. And let's not forget, this isn't just about one player. It's about the message it sends. Washington is serious about winning, about stacking their roster with talent, and about making a statement that they're here to contend for the Super Bowl. This kind of aggressive move would energize the fan base, boost team morale, and potentially set a new tone for how the franchise approaches the offseason. So fans, keep your eyes peeled over the coming weeks. The NFL is a league of sudden moves, and sometimes the boldest decisions lead to the biggest rewards. The story of James Cook, the Bills, and the Washington Commanders could develop into one of the most talked-about plots of the offseason. And as always, we'll be here to break it all down, analyze every detail, and bring you the latest updates as they happen. Remember, the NFL offseason is the perfect time for teams to retool, strategize, and sometimes pull off blockbuster trades that change the entire landscape. Washington is clearly positioning itself for something big, and acquiring a talent like Cook would be a statement move. Whether it happens or not, one thing is for sure, this league never stops surprising us. Every rumor, every news snippet, it all adds up to an incredible story unfolding right before our eyes. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the Commanders should go all in on James Cook? Or do you believe they should focus on other areas of the roster? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and more of everything you need to stay on top of the latest Washington Commanders news. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our team through thick and thin.